What's good, everybody? How y'all doing today? Hope you're having a good to great day. It's your boy Tony the Savant back with another one. We get into this 49ers and Giants game last night, but before we do that, man, I get into my intro. Shout out to my cousin Hawk, that's the ambassador. Shout out to my cousin Shout out to my cousin Hawk. Shout out to my boy Jeezy, that's the manager. Shout out to y'all, man. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on when you're pulling up to this video. Could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with me, and I appreciate that. So, let's get into the Thursday night football game that transpired between the New York Giants and the San Francisco 49ers. Battle of the Coasts game today. Last night, rather. And it was pretty one-sided. Another epic showing of the 49ers. I haven't got the chance to talk about the 49ers a lot this season just because of time, but very impressed with their showing. My hot take on Christian McCaffrey this season is that he could be one of the first. I forget who the last running back, Adrian Peterson, may have been, but he could be another running back that wins the NFL MVP, barring that, the quarterbacks kind of negate each other out this season. C-Mac could emerge as a potential, MVP for the season as a running back. Right now, he's on pace to rush for 2,400 yards, 17 touchdowns, and he's just balling, man. I am of the opinion that Christian McCaffrey is the best running back in the league right now. There are some contenders, but as far as a guy that just brings everything to the table as a running back, receiving, rushing, blocking, he's elite. He's one of one. So, shout out to the 49ers for epic showing last night. Y'all know I got the notes. Y'all know I got the stats. So let's get into it. First and foremost, let's do the Giants. Give them give them a flower or two. There was really nothing to talk about with the Giants outside of Daniel Jones's 22 receptions. 22. He went 22 for 32 with 137 yards. Matt Breida had 4 rushes and 17 yards. And a score for Matt Breida, the former, I believe he's a former 49er. And no receivers had more than 50 yards for the Giants. I believe Daniel Jones also threw a pick. It was just an ugly showing, man. Just nothing to talk about as far as the New York Giants. Again, another week of that. But considering how bad the Dallas Cowboys did them in week 1, I got to see. I know they lost Saquon in week 2, but I got to see exactly what kind of showing they had for week 2. But I think the Giants remain without a win. I know they did get like the first sack of the season. I remember seeing that in the game. So kudos to them for that. Just trying to give them some kind of credit because the New York Giants, man, it's looking bad for them. Daniel Jones is looking like a complete bust, and them signing him to this extension or giving him the pay raise or whatever. The New York Giants organization looks like bozos right now because Daniel Jones is just, it's not there for him right now. And I don't know if it's just more of a quarterback issue or a staffing issue, coaching issue. It's just very glaring that Daniel Jones cannot be successful in this system. So, I tried to say something good about the Giants, but just another horrible showing for them. On the other end, we got Brock Purdy. He went 25 for 37, 310 big yards, 2 big touchdowns. Christian McCaffrey, as we highlighted earlier, had a game. He had 18 carries for 85 yards and a touchdown. Elijah Mitchell, the backup running back to C-Mac, he chipped in 11 rushes for 42 yards. George Kittle had 7 receptions for 90 yards. Played very big, one of the high-end tight ends in the league. I'm a big George Kittle fan. Deebo Samuel probably would, I got to give him player of the game. I just learned his real name as well. I think it's Tyshawn Raekwon Samuel. His dad gave him the nickname Debo because as a kid he used to always like taking things from other kids. So that's admirable. But Debo is a bully, man. You could tell he plays so hard and fast. He's one of those guys that plays through the plays. Just not even a highlight or a big play or anything. But one of my favorite plays of the game is when he was coming across. I think it was in the end zone area. He was coming across the field for a reception, I believe a slant, and one of the linebackers tried to, give him a challenge. Now the ball was overthrown or something like that, but the linebacker, man, he got hit and flipped trying to get in Deebo Samuel's way. But Debo just looks like, a Superman out there amongst men. He had a big game. Like I said, 6 receptions for 129 yards and 1 big touchdown. Just was all over the field and just displaying his talents. When I watch Debo Samuels, he reminds me of like the offensive player version of Micah Parsons. And it's just these two storied franchises between the Dallas Cowboys and the San Francisco 49ers. We don't know, man. We don't know yet, but we could be in. Well, we did get a clash between them last season. I believe the Niners were the team that put the Dallas Cowboys out of the playoffs last season. So kudos to that. We getting a little bit more of the history. But nonetheless, when I see Debo play and I see Michael Parsons play, just the way those two gentlemen played, just with so much passion, so much strength, and so much, fire. I would love to see these two go at it one-on-one. You know what I mean? Just an entire NFC championship. Michael Parsons and Debo Samuels going one-on-one at it, because they just remind me so much of each other, but like not in personality-wise. I don't think I've seen too many of their interviews to evaluate the personalities like that, but just off of what I just see them display on the football field as leaders, as players, their play styles, just something to be admired. But Debo had a very big game, great game today. Got my vote for player of the game. It's a tie between him and Brock Purdy, man. Brock Purdy is another guy. I got to heap some praise on Brock Purdy, because Brock Purdy is one of my dark horse picks. Y'all know me, man, when I'm doing my fantasy football. And I think I'm going to start just doing a little bit more fantasy football, because, covering the games and all that stuff is fun. But I get an opportunity to kind of get in my bag a little bit more when I do fantasy football stuff. But Brock Purdy is my backup quarterback. If I did not have Jalen Hurts, the Super Bowl recently, the Super Bowl, the guy that took his team to the Super Bowl. If I didn't have Jalen Hurts as my starting quarterback, I would have Brock Purdy, honestly. I believe in the Brock Purdy hype. Came out of nowhere, essentially. Just been balling since last year. I think he went like 6-0 last year. I think he got these guys 3-0 this year. So Brock Purdy, man, he's starting to look legit. We're starting to get enough of a sample size to see why the 49ers traded Jimmy G and Trey Lance in order to make this guy their number one quarterback, undoubtedly. And he's just balling, man, Brock Purdy just seems like a dude that doesn't get rattled. Every time the Giants did get a hit on him or something last night, he just got up, brushed it off, and got right to the next play. Does not play like a rookie. Does not play like I think he was the last guy drafted in 2021 or 2022. What do they call those guys? Mr. Perfect, something like that. Anyway, he's one of those. And you would think that Brock Purdy was a highly touted running back. Highly touted quarterback in college or something. Man. Like, this dude just balls. He's very, very efficient. Very poised. He displays good leadership for the team, and I just got to heap some praise on Brock Purdy. I went on a whim and thinking it was before week 2, I went and got him. Switched out him with Russell Wilson for my backup quarterback position on the team, and I am not regretful. The only thing I am hoping is that Jalen Hurts is able to put up some more points, some bigger points than he had, because he had a very good showing in Thursday night. So shout out to Brock Purdy, shout out to C-Mac, shout out to Debo Samuel, shout out to George Kittle. That team looks just unstoppable right now. Let me get into some of my notes. I see largest shutout. No. That's the Dallas Cowboys and Giants game. I try to keep my files as well. Giants, the Giants file, So, it is a little bit of some mix and matching when these teams face each other. But as as we go throughout the season, it'll get a lot more organized. But anyway, what is it? C-Mac unstoppable. Was I was watching the game, that was the first question that I had to ask myself, because this dude was just running after getting yards after contact. Excuse me, guys. He was just balling, man. C-Mac, like I say, is a candidate for MVP for me. He's the number one candidate for MVP that's not a quarterback right now. Of course, you got to go with your Mahomes, your Joe Burrows, your Jalen Hurts. You got to consider those guys because of their impact and all that the quarterback has to do for a team. Even Brock Purdy now. But nobody in the league, no running back is doing it like Christian McCaffrey, especially. Nobody else in the league is really just a dual threat that he is. You got a couple running backs that can catch. You got a couple running backs that can run. C-Mac can do both. So my first question as I was watching the game last night was, is Christian McCaffrey unstoppable? Purdy had a 30-yard bomb of a touchdown to Deebo Samuel. That was a beaut. I'm saying? Very beautiful. That connection those two have. Christian McCaffrey averaged 6 yards. Well, he's averaging 6 yards per carry on the season. Last night, John, he averaged 7 yards per carry. Do you understand that? That's high school football numbers, man. You know what I mean? Like that's high school football averages right there. You know what I mean? So that's how much C-Mac is balling right now in the NFL. If you ain't been paying attention, you might want to start paying attention now. And I hope he stays healthy. Hope that 49ers team stays healthy. They look really good this season. Yeah, I think that's all I have for my notes, guys. Yeah, I hit everything. In fact, let me make a mention of this as well. Something else I want to incorporate into my reviews of the game. Just highlight some of the team success that these guys were able to get. The 49ers, man, they ran 78 plays to the New York Giants 46 plays. Very good time, very good ball control. They held the ball for 39 minutes and 10 seconds to the New York Giants 20 minutes and 50 seconds. Almost doubled the time that the 49ers had the ball. And just a very good display of ball control, no turnovers, controlling the tempo of the game. Like I said, that's another testament to Brock Purdy, but also to Kyle Shanahan. I haven't said his name. Kyle Shanahan has always gained my respect. I always liked his dad when he coached, and Denver especially, more so. Always respected his dad as well, but Kyle Shanahan is looking like an offensive genius. He has always had these elaborate offenses that just, play, that just open up the imagination when watching NFL football. It's almost college-esque, you know what I mean? I wouldn't disrespect them that far. It's not college football at all. It's traditional NFL. But just the fact of the matter that Kyle Shanahan dares to be different and really open